pretty much shook on it.
Well, you can shake hands with Bill all day long, but he doesn't make our decisions.
Where is Bill?
Bill's getting my lunch. You want to get started?
Okay. Let me gear up my media, and I'll walk you through our aftermarket.
Great. So, what was your meeting about?
Wholesale swarf residue bargain cost buys.
Swarf. Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's a real thing. What do you think? We're like Dr. Seuss? We're just making up something like shit out of thin air? No, it's real. It's just not interesting.
Well, why do you do it?
Well, I'm going to send my son to private school. Maybe it's worth it, I'm thinking. If there's one less kid in the class, then maybe there's one less kid to make fun of him 24 hours a day. Teasing sucks. Have any of you guys been teased?
I've been teased. I lived in America for a year, in Connecticut, and they made fun of my name.
What's your name?
Karen. Yeah, well, in Sweden it's like John, but in Connecticut it's like...
Stacy. Yeah, no, I can see that.
You know the worst part? With teasing? My dad would say, just forget about it and ignore it, son. But he doesn't understand, because in his day, kids would get teased at school all day, but then they could go home. And nowadays, you come home and there's Facebook and there's Instagram and the bullies, they can get at you through all of that stuff, and it never really stops. You know, it never stops.
When I was a kid, people could only ridicule me every day till 3:10 in the afternoon.
Okay, Snoop Lion, I think it's probably time to pass that now.
Oh, me? Yes.
Go ahead, Karen.
Welcome back to Crime Time Podcast. That's a scene. Hit the comments and let me know if you've seen that movie. That's a scene from a movie, Unfinished Business. It dropped in 2015, I believe. Vince Vaughn. What's the one guy? James Franco's brother, Mike Franco. What does everyone think about James Franco, man? All those allegations against him, or am I off by just referencing them as allegations? I didn't follow that story too closely, but I believe Seth Rogen, like his right-hand man, took a step back from messing with him. I don't know, man. Was James Franco a foul guy? Tap in and comment. But Mike Franco, is that his brother's name? I can't remember. In the movie, his name was Mike Pancake, and you've seen that scene there as Vince Vaughn is trying to close this important business deal. He's overseas. He's with his new company, competing against his own company, trying to keep the company alive. He's got a juggling act going on, right? Because things aren't good at home. You heard him. He's trying to help his son get him up out of this school that he's in, where everyone, bullies him. He's overweight. He's different. He wears eyeshadow. Let me know what you think about that. I'm not even gonna go there. We'll cover it a little more at the end of the video with another scene. But you see, as they were all passing the bong around, he called the old guy Snoop Lion. That was pretty funny, right? He was chopping it up with everyone, and he realized, man, things are different these days, right? As a parent, all the other parents, comment, man, isn't it so crazy? I always thought, being someone who had lived the kind of life, being around the block a little bit, being somewhat of a younger parent and everything like that, and I'm not even really speaking about bullying. I'm just speaking about parenting, my relationship with my parents, and like, I'm not gonna be like them. My things, I'm not trying to get too personal in this video. We're talking about a bullying crime story here, but I'm adopted and stuff like that, and it was not very close with my adoptive family, and it's a whole mess or whatever, but I was always like on a mission to be a good parent, a better parent, and I'm just more in touch with what's going on. But no matter what, there's like a generational gap and things are different, and that's like what Vince Vaughn was realizing there. The whole social media aspect of things made it all different. You're the old man talking about, because he was what would be considered a nerd when he was growing up. 3:15, I'm up out of there. I'm out of school. The bullies can all kiss my arse. It's over. I'm home free. I'm scot-free, But Mike Pancake let it be known nowadays, as he tried to convey to his father, who was telling him, hey, toughen up, don't be soft. And that's the thing too nowadays. There's a lot of things, issues and stuff like that are covered and that weren't covered or recognized before, where people will say, man, like this generation, we're making them soft. And in a sense, I do agree with that, right? That you do have to learn to stick up for yourself in life. It's big about success, like I'm not saying having to be a tough guy or nothing like that, but just if you're not assertive, if you can't speak up, you will run into problems throughout life, making a living, just navigating through life, handling your business. You got to be able to take care of yourself in that sense, but at the same time, man, bullying has always been a thing that's been messed up. And I guess we could say there's levels to it, like when I grew up, I was always kind of instructed, and just that's the way that it went, that if someone was attempting to bully me or something like that, you sock them in the mouth and go, shoot the fair ones with them and fight them. And most of the time when, the bullies see that you'll fight back, they leave you alone. And sometimes you end up becoming friends and stuff like that. But that doesn't always work. You do need to be able to stand up for yourself if necessary, once again. But then there's like the happy medium, the other side of the coin, that violence just isn't necessary or needed. It's just so complex, everything in life is, right? But with all this stuff being said, and please everyone, get into the comment section below and let me know your thoughts all about this whole story, what we're covering. But what we're about to see here is bullying, period, ain't right? Like I said, there could be levels to it, but it's never right. It's never acceptable. But it's like, socking someone in the mouth isn't always going to stop it. The internet did change the game. Violence, you shouldn't try to have to take it there, right? But when it comes to bullies and bullying, man, and again, right here, I got this clip for you, this news story coming out of Rochester, New York, man. These bullies, and especially with the whole internet side of the thing, that's the whole reason I decided to, reference this movie, man. This whole way the social media changed things, as the blogosphere era, as I like to call it, that we live in, where everyone's on devices, smartphones, and it's a part of life. You kind of just have to use the internet, right? It's changed life in so many ways, in every aspect of life, and it really has empowered the bullies to take it even a step further, and it goes to the point where it's sadistic, twisted, sick, and flat out criminal.
Thank you for joining us for News 8 at 11. The parents of a 13-year-old Cosgrove Middle School student tell me tonight they're pleased. Monroe County Sheriff's deputies arrested and charged a teen after their daughter was slammed into a school locker. But Kim and Sean Sick say they're not done seeking justice for Leah. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office confirmed the arrest of a 13-year-old boy this week, charged with harassment and 2 counts of stalking, both misdemeanors. Kim and Sean Sick tell me they're relieved one of the boys accused of slamming their 13-year-old daughter, Leah, into a school locker has been arrested.
Like I said, he was the main ringleader that, has been bullying her all year, and I know that he's the one who got all his buddies together that day and waited for her in the hallway. So I am glad that he has to answer to this.
The six say they had to demand to see surveillance video of the November 22nd incident at Cosgrove Middle School. And what they saw compelled them to seek more than the typical 3-day suspension for the 6 boys accused of bullying their daughter.
All I can do is hope that they realize, okay, we messed with the wrong girl, or and there's going to be consequences now.
Since going public about what happened to their daughter, the couple say dozens of parents and students have reached out to them from across Monroe County, sharing similar stories.
I've actually gotten quite a few young people reaching out to us, saying, please don't stop.
Kim ordered 50 Justice for Leah shirts like the one she's wearing, and they expect to see a good number of people with these shirts on taking their concerns directly to Spencerport district leaders at the January 7th meeting.
They didn't do enough. And if we didn't fight this, they would have given them that 3-day suspension, and that would have been it.
I reached out to the school district earlier today. They say they learned of the arrest this afternoon, but did not provide further comment at this time. Also, Greece police arrested another teen last month for harassment stemming from online and phone threats the family received after the bullying incident. As for Leah, her parents say she's looking forward to returning to school Monday.
So you see here, these parents, they're like, and good for these parents, man. They're like, we're not accepting this. This is BS. The school was like, hey, we're just going to hand out a 3-day suspension. And that's that. It's like, this bullying that we're talking about here is different than what we were talking about in that movie. Both situations are wrong. And, both situations are people that are just jerks. But these kids surrounded this girl, right? 6 males surrounded her, and she was slammed into a locker. And then the school just said, hey, we'll hit them with the 3-day suspension. And then the parents had to keep pushing, start this movement with the t-shirts and everything. And again, kudos to those parents. Like, good job fighting for your kid. You know what I mean? Because the school, as you're going to see, they just wanted to not have any liability and were willing to cover it up. And the parents weren't having it. And as you see, the kid was charged with some misdemeanors, right? First degree harassment and stalking. And like I said, you think about this is way beyond bullying, which again is always wrong. But this is like someone who's growing up to be a future domestic stalker, woman beater. You know what I mean? I don't know what the issue all stemmed from, but that's insane that 6 dudes like kind of, I don't want to say jumped this girl, but in a sense, they all took part in the assault because they helped intimidate and surround this girl while one of the dudes slammed her off a locker. What the hell is wrong with this kids these days, man? Like, they're just twisted. And I really think the internet has played a big factor in this when it comes to the bullying. Like, people will do things anonymously and they'll feel that they're invincible. And there's another thing that happens nowadays where kids don't get in trouble enough and they feel that they can just do whatever and they feel invincible in that sense too. They learn the lesson that no one can do nothing to me. I can say and do whatever I want, and that ain't how the world works. And it's just wrong. And again, how wrong is this school to know of this incident happening and say, 3-day suspension, that's all, for a group of dudes surrounding and assaulting a female? Like, the school is just on some BS. Always parents out there, man, know what's going on in the school, you know what I mean? And oftentimes, some kids don't want to let their parents know what's going on, and you gotta get active and get out there on your own and find out what's going on, even if it appears that there is no problems going on. We gotta know what's happening out there, but at the same time, we have to know that the school is holding their weight, worth their salaries they're getting paid and worth being just accredited as a school or whatever, because again, they weren't going to do nothing really. A punk ass 3-day suspension. And I got a statement you heard too on there. I got a statement I want to read to you that the school gave in regards to all this. But you heard on the news, they had no comment for the news at all. And it just doesn't seem like they even care. Again, they just didn't want to be on the hook for anything and held liable. But listen to this. There was another arrest made. And again, we're talking about the internet. When all this was going down and the parents were fighting back, which in the end, they got some results. People are facing charges. People were arrested. And, they're like, hey, maybe now these punks know we are not the ones, you got the wrong one. Because we ain't going to take your ish, right? But they were getting calls and threats on FaceTime and social media, to stop trying to make anything happen in regards to some consequences really being paid or more being done for their daughter being bullied, harassed, and assaulted. And I'm saying, I'm sure the kid was probably harassed via the internet as well, but I'm talking about the parents. Can you believe that? Like some punk ass kids, that's another problem nowadays, like a lack of respect for parents and elders and stuff like that, not all adults are great people or whatever, but I'm just saying just a level of respect or whatever. It's very lacking these days, and someone was flat out harassing and threatening the parents, and they didn't stop and just let nothing be done in that instance neither. They spoke up, continued to press the issue with the police, who say this, they're saying they're very happy with, and an arrest was made there. And it turns out that wasn't one of the kids involved in the whole incident with their daughter being assaulted in school. So I guess it was just one of their friends was like, hey, I'm gonna step in, I got this, I'll shut these parents up. And they tried to intimidate and just threaten and punk on the parents to stop the mission that they were on, and they were arrested and charged on Christmas Eve. Ain't that something, man? Now, again, like I was saying about the school just being severely lacking in stepping up and doing anything and being there for the students or the parents. Listen to the statement that they gave in regards to all this. Again, they wouldn't give any statement, on air to the news, right? But they did release a statement that says, the arrest speaks to the severity of this bullying incident, the superintendent wrote to Cosgrove school families. Dear Cosgrove families, the recent announcement by the Greece Police Department speaks to the severity of this bullying incident, and we are appreciative to law enforcement for the response and attention given to this matter. A charge of aggravated harassment in the second degree addresses the most severe behavior which occurred outside of school. So you see, they just want it to be known. The most severe thing happened when it comes to criminal charges happened outside of school, which is really just some spin if you really want to look at it, and is their viewpoint. It's not really even like a facts-based thing, but it's just clear though that you can see they're just trying to pass the buck on to someone else and want to not have their name dirtied. Most severe behavior which occurred outside of school. This latter point is important to make given the complexities of bullying and how it often interconnects between home and school. For the school incident, we have pursued every action within our authority, consulting with the law enforcement and conducting a DASA investigation led by a third-party law law firm that specializes in school law. Now, let's just stop right there and kind of call BS on that as well, because they didn't, what did they say? They pursued every action within their authority. No, they were going to just suspend the kid and keep it moving. The parents pressed the issue, and then the school is just countering to cover their ass. Once again, in my opinion, let me know if you agree. It says, and then you see they reached out to a third party, who, to whatever this DASA investigation, I'm not sure what that acronym stands for, but this third party law firm that specializes in school law. Once again, that's a liability thing, so they just can't be sued. That seems to be all that they care about. We're not on the hook for any of this. This investigation has been submitted to the impacted families in New York State Education Department, and consequences have been administered. Again, that came from the parents taking action, not the school. They're like, they're lying right here, you know? Concerning behaviors must be addressed, whether at home or school, and the only way to see change is by collectively working together. Please consider this situation as an opportunity to talk with your kids about appropriate behaviors, misuse of social messaging apps, and reporting any bullying or safety issues to a trusted adult. So, I don't know. Again, to me, I just look at this school as, the school administration is whack, not really caring about the students, and once again, covering their ass. They were willing to cover it all up with a quick 3-day suspension. And, it's clear right away, this is a serious situation. 6 dudes, collaborated to assault a girl on school grounds. They're talking about the most severe thing with people using social media to bully. That happened outside of school, and we have a law firm that conducted this third party investigation, and they agree with what we're saying. They're saying we're in the clear, and it's just it's very messed up, man. That's just what I've heard happen in a lot of instances, not just speaking to bullying, but just with education institutions these days, they don't want to do anything, and New York State, and is a place I lived the majority of my life, right? Not Monroe County, I'm from Buffalo, but still Western New York, not that far away. And New York State is ranked up there in education, okay? Florida, the educational system was okay, decent. Out west where I've been living, it is atrocious and just straight trash, garbage, sucks, you know what I mean? And New York State is a place that I look at that has checks and balances typically, and schools, again, education is held to a pretty high standard, and to see this school like just sucking so bad and passing the buck is I don't know. I wonder if something will be done on an administration level, if something will happen where someone will lose their job or something. And, hopefully these parents keep pushing, with this mission that they're on. And again, I commend them, man. That's dope that they care, and that they didn't let, just the authority at the school tell them what it was. You know what I'm saying? That's sticking up for yourself, a life lesson we were speaking about in the beginning of this, right? Like, so often authority can drop the ball and not do what they're supposed to do, and there's a way to go about sticking up for yourself. And in this instance, the way the parents did, they sought out other authority figures to tap into the lack of the authority, individuals that were supposed to do all what the parents ended up doing. They had to go over their heads. So when you run into those problems, you gotta know how to handle it. You can't just get to tripping and flipping. I mean, speak your mind, speak your piece. But if you get too active, too wild, you know what I mean, then you're a problem, you know? So these parents did the right thing, man. But yeah, I just thought that this was a pretty crazy news story and wanted to see what everyone out there thought about this and your just thoughts about bullying, social media, and, you know, like a reminder, or not a reminder that it goes on, and, you know, like that you can't always trust the people that you should trust in school, you know, the faculty. It's a mess, man. Someone should probably lose their job, but then you got the teachers union and tenure and things like that where it can get tricky. But I don't know, I'll definitely bring you guys any updates that I do hear on this story, but I want to know what you think about it in the comments below. And to close this out, I'm just gonna go back to that Unfinished Business Vince Vaughn movie and roll you this clip, you know, where Vince Vaughn was speaking to his son and, you know, trying to make him feel better and everything with the situation that he was going through. So let's talk in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next video. All kinds of true crime content, crime stories, and related content on this channel. Like, subscribe, hit the buttons for me.
Wearing eyeshadow?
Yeah, I just wanted to show Paul that I understand how he feels.
You're cool, Dan.
How are you doing? Your bra's on outside your shirt. Did you know that?
Yes, I do know that. I was having a boob conversation with Beth, and she was worried that her boobs were going to come out, so I showed her how to trap them with a bra. I just realized I went to Coffee Bean like this.
I'm sure you made an impression. Can I talk to her?
Beth?
Hey, Dad. Did you finish my homework?
Well, I have not yet, no. Honey, why did you beat the shit out of another kid?
They were making fun of Paul. They were calling Paul fat names. Double stuff. The fat Oreos.
Well, good job. My little can of whoop ass. I mean, I should probably add to that I'll take care of Paul. That's my job. You be a kid. That's your job, okay? Can I talk to him?
Sure. Paul?
Hey,
Hey.
are you wearing eyeshadow?
Yeah. Straight up teal.
Why?
Well, that's the one that you picked.
Yeah, when they bagged on me. Goth dicks.
Goth is lame. Goth is an outlaw. I mean, this is the look right here, man. Any guy can wear dark. But rocking teal? See, teal is very outlaw. I mean, it's like the golf kids really, they're joiners when you think about it. The teal kids, they really stand alone. And whenever I have to pick a color, obviously I pick teal every time, for sure. Because, no one else does it. And because you have to be bold. Because you have to be teal tough.
Give me a break, Dad. Come on.
We could probably start a gang, me and you. Just for real men, though.
Yeah, I guess we could, like the teal boys.
How many kids are in your class?
42.
And how many of those kids pick on you?
41. Hey, I gotta go.
Okay, no, just listen for 1 second. Stay here. Stay here and just listen to me for a second. Now, Paul, you're going to switch schools. But that's not going to really change anything much, honestly. You're just going to have to stay tough. And I know that you are feeling like that you're sticking out and that you're going through a lot of stuff. But we're going to get through this. Me and you. Teal tough.
When are you coming home?
Tomorrow.
Did you get the handshake? Dad froze again.